and end their chances of qualifying through to Tokyo. So a disappointing performance from the hosts last night, Croatia. They went down in defeat to Brazil. Can they bounce back today and get the victory they need over Tunisia in order to secure that spot in the semi-final? Here we see the schedule of games. Germany overcoming Russia in the game earlier today here in Split to take up these top spots in Group A alongside Mexico. We already know from Group B that Brazil will be the first place team with that 2-0 record, having beaten both Tunisia and Croatia. The question is, who will join them in the semi-finals after the off day here? It is the winner of this game that will advance. And Croatia will look to improve from yesterday, especially the man who wears that jersey in the NBA, Bojan Bogdanovic. A disappointing night for him in his first game here for the Croatian national team. For Tunisia then, it was a valiant defeat from them on opening night against Brazil. They went down but played an aggressive style that no doubt will cause some problems for Croatia. They do have the experience on the inside of Salah Mejri, and then guys like Elmer Baruch here, the captain on the perimeter. But more than anything, it was the young guns, this host of 20-year-olds, the new breed of Tunisian players that are coming through. A Tunisian team which has won Afrobasket tournaments before will be heading back to Afrobasket in Kigali in Rwanda in the end of August. So freebie for them really at this competition, knowing that they are getting vital prep towards their African championships. But what an upset this could be for them. Could they turn over this Croatian team here at home in Split? There is Marnouni, who was a scoring punch off the bench for the Tunisians. He'll be looking to do that again here today. As we see the Croatian team coming out, a host of guys led by Roko Ukic, born and grew up here in Split. So they're back in their hometown, back in their home city, and they will want to respond after a disappointing game from them yesterday against Brazil. They went down to a heavy defeat in the end, 94-67. Just didn't really have any answer for the offensive firepower, the speed of play of Brazil. They really, could have made the game even a bigger deficit. But Croatia will know that game will not define their chances here, as long as they're able to recover, as long as they can get a victory by any means against Tunisia. They will still move forward into the semi-final where they'll face off against Germany. So we'll take a break here in Split. It'll be the national anthems coming up, first for Tunisia and then for Croatia.
For the national anthems, we start with Tunisia. Please remain standing for the national anthem of Croatia.
officiating crew there in charge of this crucial game then. So the question is, can this Tunisian attack produce another performance, but can they take those steps from the defeat against Brazil and go one step further? I mentioned they're led by Salah Mejri. He is the man on the inside. He will be a mainstay for this offense, but it is Manouni who has been the leading scorer, a lot in preparation from them. Omar Abada, who started very well indeed. He really is establishing himself as one of the top best point guards in Africa. Now he's got the challenge of going against some experience in this Croatian backcourt. So Salah Mejri, the 12 points, 7 rebounds, the veteran who's played both in the NBA and for Real Madrid, as you could see there, the only Tunisian to ever play in the top league for head coach Dirk Baumann, the German in charge of this Tunisian team, how he would like to set up a semi-final game against the German opponent. So on the other side, the Croatian team, we said, you know, it's a frustrating performance for them yesterday, just didn't really get going, either offensively or defensively, really kind of put to the sword by the Brazilian team. There is their starting lineup, and some changes. It's the Hazonia and Bogdanovic together, a combination that we've not really seen from the Croatian team. You know, that is really the key to their offense, I feel. Can they get those two firing together? And then Ante Žižić, the man on the inside with the starting nod. He was hampered by foul trouble yesterday. So Bojan Bogdanovic, he ended with 16 points. A lot of those coming in the second half, though, as he did, you know, really struggle in the first 20 minutes, especially looking after the ball. He's a man who's averaged more than 25 a game in Olympic Games for Croatia, so he does have that quality. We know that. There's no doubt he will respond and try and come back from the 6 turnovers he had yesterday.
But that's a tough matchup against Hazonia. We got to help them out against Hazonia, because you know they like to pass. So help really, really hard. Let's get off to a good start, people. Very important. We got to rebound by committee. That's a big team they're putting out there. But then if we do get the rebound, we can run them.
So here we are, and Tim Long alongside Manchester Giants head coach Lloyd Gardner pretty much ready to go in this final group game here. As the two sets of players take to the court, this Croatian crowd hoping to help their team recover from yesterday's Brazilian battering, their first defeat by more than 12 at an Olympic qualifying tournament. They lost it by 27. And they've never lost back-to-back games in this competition. But it is now or never for them in terms of Tokyo 2020. Only 3 straight wins will do if they're to keep up their record of winning every one of the Olympic qualifying tournaments they've entered. 1992, 2008, 2016. Can they come back to win it here on home soil in 2021? Strong favourites, of course, against this Tunisian team, the lowest ranked team of the 6 teams in Split. But a disjointed performance last night in front of their home fans against Brazil. Now they simply have to produce against the 2-time and reigning champions of Africa. Ante Žižić and Salah Mejri to contest the opening tip, and we're underway in Split. And the first possession for Tunisia, who started fairly well in their first game as underdogs against Brazil before fading away, overpowered by Brazil, as Croatia were yesterday as well. Mejri moving it on to Marnaoui, takes the first shot and banks it in, and Tunisia might need a near-perfect performance if they're to cause an almighty upset. That's a pretty good start.
Well, we've talked a lot in these games, Tim, about, you know, scorers and go-to players. Marnaoui becoming that for Tunisia. A real scorer's mentality he has, as this man, Bojan Bogdanovic, does as well.
Here is Bogdanovic taking it right at Mejbri. The NBA against the former NBA, and Mejbri not happy with the no call. Bogdanovic happy with the points.
Well, turning it back to 2016, where Croatia last qualified for the Olympic Games. These two teams faced off in Turin, and it was 25 points from Bogdanovic, which was the big difference for a victory for Croatia. Let's see if he can do it again.
We'll see if Marnawi can do it again on the drive, and there's a foul as Mejbri went for the tip. But Tunisia making an aggressive start on the offensive end.
Well, that's what, you know, the thing that really impressed me about their performance against Brazil, they didn't have the quality down the end to match the Brazilians, and really was on the defensive end. They just couldn't slow them down. But offensively, they were the aggressor all the time. And now it kind of sums that up for me. You know, first couple of possessions, full of confidence on a three, and then, you know, sees a little glimmer of space, and we've already seen his ability to be creative at the basket.
Had a team-high 13 points on Tuesday on 5 of 11 shooting, a couple of steals on the defensive end as well. One of 4 players on the roster with Tunisian champions US Monastir. Tunisia up by 3. Roko Ukic into Mario Hezonja. Žižić was crucial against Brazil, but he didn't play much because of foul trouble. Right, it comes to Hezonja. Steps in for the long two from the baseline, and the rebound ripped down by Marnawi. Back to Mejbri, who hit 3 threes in the first game. He misses one here. He didn't hit a single two-pointer. Bogdanovic taking it all the way, coast to coast, off balance over the baseline. He'll go to the line for 2.
Croatia respecting the three-point threat of Salah Mejbri as well, because they're rotating from the weak side to get out to him, try and take that away. On the other end, what a difference this has been for Bogdanovic. Start of the game yesterday, I think he had 3 straight turnovers, trying to put it on the floor, get to the basket. He almost seemed shocked as to the, you know, the level and the defense. And no, he wasn't, but yeah, just wasn't really ready to play yesterday. Not the Bogdanovic we've seen through years and years playing in a Croatian jersey.
Almost like a bit of jet lag still coming back after the end of the NBA season for him. He finished with a team-high 16 points yesterday, but had 6 turnovers and took a long time to get going. And he's wasted little time here tonight. He's got all 4 of Croatia's points. Pumping bodies, continuing that aggressive start on the offensive end for Tunisia as the 40-year-old Sliman, but he misses the shot. Down the floor, Hezonja in transition, outpace, kick to the corner. Roko Ukic, the captain, misses the 3, Sliman the rebound. Mejbri, this time puts the brakes on the perimeter, and then sets the screen for a batter to work behind. Long 2 doesn't go for him, rebound Žižić. High-octane first 2.5 minutes. Mario Hezonja, a little Euro step into the paint. He'll go to the line. And Croatia aggressive on the offensive end as well, getting their time and time again.
Yeah, I mean, Hezonja is a man who, what he does is put points on the board. This is a guy who's had a 37-point game in prep for Croatia. It was a loss against Slovenia, 97-88, when Croatia didn't yet have Žižić, they didn't yet have Bogdanovic into the squad. And that's, you know, the thing for Croatia that they have to figure out. They only had that combination one time in preparation. So no surprise that first game out, you know, Brazil were able to take advantage of that. For Croatia, it's about step by step, finding a way for these combinations to work.
And the 2 biggest offensive weapons for Croatia both getting going already. Bogdanovic and Hezonja. Nabada. 5-5 over the first near 3 minutes. 3-point shot, Tunisia, rims out for Sliman. And Croatia keep looking to push the ball swiftly down the floor. Babic moving it on to Ukic. Tunisia battling back, though. And they get bodies back behind the ball to force Croatia to play in the half court and ultimately to force the turnover. Abada. Mejbri rolls inside, looks to rise to the rim, but disrupted the pass by Babic, who got back. And Hezonja goes coast to coast in clinical fashion.
Well, that's going to get the crowd into it. They didn't have much to cheer about yesterday. Hezonja, as you said, he's got going, as does Bogdanovic. So a great start this for Croatia, exactly what they would have wanted.
3 for Hezonja. And 4 for Bogdanovic. 3-point shot, Adami misses everything. Žižić grabs the loose ball. Bogdanovic to lead the offense. Babic on the trail, might have taken the 3, shifts it on far side instead. And that will drop for Mario Hezonja as well.
So I mean, if you're Tunisia, this is really bad news. You could have picked a couple of things that you didn't want to happen, and getting those 2 going early was probably high on the list.
Mejri trapped on the baseline by the double team, forced into the turnover. Here come Croatia again. They're wasting little time. Hezonja skips through, and he is tearing the Tunisian defense to shreds in transition.
Look at this for Hezonja. He bounced it around the defender as he ran after it in transition. What a start this has been for Croatia. You know, Hezonja 8, Bogdanovic 4, those 2 rolling early.
After just 4 minutes and 20 seconds, Tunisia forced to call timeout.
Hey, let me handle it, guys. Let me handle it. Hey, guys, look. We've been taking really long threes. We're not putting any heat on the rim. Right? Hey, we got to attack the basket more, get some layups. Everything is almost a 4-point shot.
Well, the perfect start for Croatia here. After a torrid performance last night, Hezonja was one of their top scorers in that game against Brazil, albeit with only 9 points on 1 of 7 shooting. He's got 8 already in just over 4 minutes here. And the other 4 for Croatia coming from Bojan Bogdanovic.
I think for both ways for Croatia. One is from a team perspective, one from a Hezonja perspective. He's been able to score through the offense, which is important. So his teammates are finding him, getting in those open shots, and he's having the opportunity to get shots himself without having to force the action or go looking for it.
He could get away from Tunisia quickly unless they can respond here off the back of that early timeout. Down by 7, 3-point shot. Slimani, just what they needed.
Oh yeah, big response out of the timeout that from Tunisia.
And shot 39% from the outside in qualifying for this summer's Afrobasket.
Zone now. No change in defense from them, trying to affect this rhythm of the Croatians that they found early on.
Hezonja feeling it right now, misses that one though.
That was a better possession from Tunisia.
Mejri's barking orders passionately as he goes down the floor, and still is now. It's in a fairly heated discussion with Slimani, who hit the 3 on their previous offense, as we see the replay of that drive from Bada, and Slimani goes across to talk to those on the bench now as well.
Yeah, it was something about the defensive end. I'm not sure what it was that they're unhappy with or the miscommunication is about.
Here is Slimani. Bada. Just across the midway point of the first quarter. Tunisia down 4. Well, now he goes behind the back, fouled by Hezonja. His first. Croatia's third. Hezonja protesting the call. And from Obata to Mejri. Brook, the captain. Prodding and probing. Not yet penetrating, pulls up for the 3-point shot over the top of Žižić. Really tough shot towards the end of the shot clock.
Great defense from Žižić, the ability to step out, contain, not foul, and still get a great challenge Now on that one, Elmabruk coming in off the bench is, you know, he's usually a good calming influence for this Tunisian team. We saw him be involved as a playmaker a lot more than we have in the past yesterday. Interesting to see if they go with that again. A lot of discussion here. I mean, see a replay. For me, it didn't hit the ring. I thought it was quite clear. Yeah, the referees, they agree.
So a shot clock violation.
Yeah. Still going to stay in this zone, perhaps, Tunisia? Is it a box and one? Box and one against Bogdanovic.
They slip it in, far side to Žižić, one-on-one with Mejbri. Spins, shoots, misses, Mejbri the rebound. Tunisia can get back within a single possession. Slimani. Elmabruk. This is the pass to the near side. Abada puts it on the floor, taking on Rokic. Back out. Slimani runs into the big frame of Žižić. Picked up far side. They have to get it away. Certainly hit the rim that time, but Žižić is underneath it. Croatia so quickly down the floor for the corner three, missed by Bogdanovic. And Mejbri the rebound. Elmabruk. Hangs it high for Mejbri, caught it slightly on the way down and couldn't convert. Babic, such a fast-paced game still, end-to-end. Hezonja for three, a couple of misses in a row for him. His teammates try and pick up the pieces. Babic misses as well, and Tunisia get the ball. And they seem to have, to a certain extent, weathered the storm.
Just the change in defense has kind of affected the rhythm a little for the Croatian offense. It means perhaps they can't run the same plays. They can't, you know, get that free-flowing basketball.
Approaching the final 3 minutes of the first quarter. They look to close the gap again here, having trailed by 7 at the timeout. Neither team scoring at the moment. Hezonja. Up against Marnawi. Takes him on baseline. Mejbri there to help. Dished off though to Žižić, and a foul called as Mejbri shakes his head, walking away, thinking he got a clean block.
It's the second on Mejbri as well. Let's have a look. I'll tell you what, the impact Žižić has in this game so far, well, there's not much in that. You know, he came off the bench yesterday, Žižić. He got in foul trouble. He never really got into the game in the way a lot of the Croatians didn't. But already today, we see the impact that he can have offensively, you know, creating opportunities on the rebound, being available for little dump-offs, but defensively more than anything, he's just so active and mobile in pick-and-roll coverage. Really is elite at that.
He had 9 points in that game, only missing 1 shot, but he was fouled out in only 13 minutes. Had to play in bits and pieces. He's put Croatia up by 6 here with his first 2 points. And Mario Hezonja gets it back, catches up with it, wins the race to the baseline, and Croatia look to race away again.
Worrying times for Tunisia. Mejbri on 2, struggling a little for points. Hezonja's got going, and now this lead up to 8.
It's the largest of the game. There's a bit of afters here. Mejbri being held back. He's really not happy. Salah Mejbri right now, the veteran centre.
I mean, if he's going to moan about that, that happens 10 times a game for Salah Mejbri without question. So yes, it's a foul. No.
Well, he was frustrated at the other end, wasn't he, when he thought he got the clean block not too long ago. And Tunisia know they need everything to go almost to perfection tonight to beat Croatia.
I think it is that frustration from the other end that's coming through rather than this being a foul or an unsportsmanlike.
So show the main camera again, and slowly. Okay. What do you think about the extended?
It's a normal play.
It's a normal play, yeah? Because the guy is coming to him.
He's coming to him and try to block it with.
But, okay, we keep it normal. No problem, thank you.
Yeah, they concur with you. Normal foul. Meshri won't be happy.
We keep a normal foul.
It is, however, the fourth team foul on Croatia, so any further fouls from their defense will send Tunisia to the line for the next 2.5 minutes. Meshri's going to go to the bench, as to Sleeman. Omar Abada will inbound, had 10 points, 4 assists and a steal on Tuesday. Adami around to the near side. Abada gets it back on the perimeter now, looking to work with Gayaza, who's just come in. Little head fake from him into the lane. Misses the hook shot. There's Onyia looking to travel again. Not as fast as he's been flying on previous transitions. Now slow it down. He'll want to attack one-on-one against Gayaza. Kicks to the far side. Adami back out. Rogic rather back out to the far side, and the missed three. Down the floor it goes to Abada. Ganouni finding Abada, who will take his time, then go through the gears. Wants to find the pass to the far side, but all angles covered. And Croatia looking pretty comfortable right now.
Abada's got to be more of a scoring threat. He passed up the initial jump shot. Then when he used the ball screen, he's trying to find a pass that isn't there because the defense hasn't come to help. He has to be a scoring threat. He has to make the defense believe that he's going to score. They'll come help. That's the time for him to be able to pass it out.
Rogic. Marcinkovic to Rogic again. Different backcourt for Croatia. Slipped into Žižić and they turn it over. Easily telegraphed that time. And there's a whistle before Maroud El Mabrouk gets to the basket. It's the 5th team foul on Croatia though, so they will get to the line.
It's not a smart foul from Croatia. Marcinkovic comes in, just kind of pulls back Gayaza as he set the ball screen. There's no need for it. Tunisia struggling for points. Why would you put them on the line now when you're in the bonus? So keep making it hard, keep forcing Tunisia to score in that half-court game, which they haven't really shown the ability to do, rather than give them some confidence here, rather than give them that rhythm from the free-throw line.
And they've only scored 10 points in over 8.5 minutes. 4 of them now have come from the foul line. And they're 2 of 12 from the field.
Marnawi, who's made both of those, right? He's just come back in, so see if he can give that scoring punch again.
Bogdanovic. Back to Marcinkovic. Rogic. They shifted around the perimeter. Žižić finds the angle, uses his body well and scores, beating Gayaza.
I'm not sure that's a great one-on-one matchup for Tunisia. Might have to do something different if they keep going to Žižić in the low block. Bilan looks like he's going to replace him. He's another guy who can score on that post-up as well.
El Mabrouk, mid-air collision with Žižić, gets the ball still in his hands, finds Gayaza. He edges forward and gets denied by Žižić, who's torching him at both ends. Marnui with a 3, wide open, misses. And it will still be Tunisia ball.
And after the block, Žižić goes out. What an impact, 9 minutes. 4 points, 4 rebounds, a block as well.
Final 30 seconds of the first quarter. Tunisia down by 8. And they'll go to the line. Another foul on Croatia. First on Bogdanovic. Marnawi at the line, who hit the first 2 foul shots for Tunisia tonight. They're hoping to remain perfect. 4 of 4 so far, with Gayaza hitting a couple since then. Bogdanovic to the bench. Scored the first 4 points for Croatia. Hasn't scored since. First miss from the line for Tunisia on a night where they need absolutely everything to go that they possibly can control. And the 22-year-old recovers to hit the second. 7-point gap. Only a 3-second differential between shot clock and game clock at the end of the first quarter. Roko Rogic will take his time. They lose it. There's a glimmer of hope for Tunisia at the end of the first. They don't make the most of it. Travelling quickly down the floor, and now they're in trouble. And they're in big trouble, because it's a big-time finish from Miro Bilan.
Well, that's the difference. If you're Tunisia, you take the shot and don't score. They leave 5 seconds for Croatia, who, like that, can go the other end, get the easy score, extend the lead.
And buzzer-beating blockbuster from Bilan. Croatia lead by 9 at the end of 1, 20-11 over Tunisia. We take a look at the shooting numbers. And look at that, Tunisia without a single field goal on the inside, 0 of 6. And they're 2 of 9 from 3-point range. Croatia struggling on the perimeter as well, but dominant on the interior.
I think the stats tell the story, right? 2 of 15 overall. Haven't yet scored a 2-point field goal, as you said. They just haven't found a way to unlock this Croatian defense. That is the question. And the problem for them is Salah Remeshri. It could be that guy. He's got 2 fouls. He's had to go out. Marnawi is really the only one that's been actively looking to get that away. I think Omar Abada needs to be the guy who steps up. Talked about him getting to the lane and looking to be a provider. That's great, but they need him to score, Tunisia do. Tunisia need 15 points from Abada. They need to keep it a low-scoring game to have any chance today. So if they're going to, keep missing, we see Croatia in the open floor, and that's what got them some rhythm. Steals like this from Hezonja, there's 2 easy ones for him that just keep the scoreboard ticking over. The way it's going right now, it's going to be a game in the 80s. Tunisia can't win that.
Mario Hezonja, the leading scorer, with 10 points, that time igniting the fast break that finished with the high-flying move from Miro Bilan. And the fans enjoyed that one here in Split. 10 points on 4 of 8 shooting for Hezonja, who played the entirety of that first quarter. A couple of steals, 3 rebounds as well. And Tunisia have it all to do. Hezonja around by Bilan to the far side. Rogic. Pushed away by Gayaza, and he's appealing and winning his appeal to say the final touch came off Mario Hezonja.
It's another example of just, the rhythm isn't quite there for Croatia. Hezonja is the man who's supposed to have the play. He comes off the screen, but he's not open because the defense switches. You've got to recognize and counter against it.
3-point shot for Tunisia, a big one right at the start of the second quarter to give them renewed hope. Al Mabruk, who only shot 2 of 9 on Tuesday for his 5 points. A whistle on the play after Ganouni grabbed the ball. Tunisia were hoping it was another turnover.
Substitution, Rogic, who was fouled. There we see him getting a discussion from the sideline from Coach Veljko Mrsic. And Coach Mrsic did this the other day. Every time a player made a mistake, he pulled them out. I don't think it worked well against Brazil. He started doing the same thing here. That's why Ukic is back into the game, because it was Rogic that made the bad pass on the last possession.
Here's Giordano attacking and scoring, having just come in at the start of the second quarter, the 22-year-old. Croatia by 8. Ganuni. Elmer Brooks just hit a 3. This time dishes off onto the interior. Gayaza gets the better of Bilan on their first basket on the inside.
Incredible. So it took nearly 11 minutes, more than 11 minutes for it to happen.
Only took a matter of seconds for Hezonja to get all the way down the floor to answer back, though. 12 points for him, and the lead back to 8. And a chance for him to complete a three-point play as well.
No, it was given before, so no basket, end-line possession.
Yeah, foul not on the shot. Second on Tunisia here in the second, so it's changed back to 22. The Croatia score on a 6-point margin. Foul on Adami. Hezonja to Ukic. Bilan with the high screen. Rolls back inside, it goes to the baseline to Marcinkovic, and then the 3 for Giordano, misses it. Marcinkovic, offensive rebound. Fresh 14 on the shot clock for Croatia. They lose it though with Bilan. Elmer Brook takes the 3, can't hit that one. Gayaza's not happy, looking around at the official, tangling with Bilan. Tunisia playing without Mejri at the moment, of course, after he picked up 2 fouls in the first quarter. And Croatia battling on the boards with Bilan. He earns himself a trip to the foul line. And Mejri's going to come back in.
The applause, if you can hear it, isn't for Mejri, it's because Bogdanovic has come back as well. Nero Bilan, a regular through qualifying for Eurobasket, the last kind of international games Croatia have played. He had the big 30.12 rebound performance against Turkey, where he went 10 of 14. He was just unstoppable in that game on the low block. Croatia just kept feeding him the ball. It's a different team now with Bogdanovic out there, with Hezonja in it as well, but still, I think they've got to find a way as this tournament goes on to include all these pieces, and Bilan is one of them. When he's on the floor, feed him, let him go to work, because he can be a nice little punch scorer, can get you 10 points in a hurry if he starts to find his rhythm.
He's had a really good season in the Basketball Champions League with Dinamo Sassari, 15.2 points, 7.4 rebounds a game. Elmer Brook lost it far sideline, turns it over.
Abada back in. This is where I'd like to see him, really start to take over a little, control that Tunisian team.
Bogdanovic on the dribble drive, pieces picked up by Bilan, so cool and composed in the paint to get the defenders up in the air, to wriggle into a gap and to find the angle to score.
Okay, Bogdanovic drove, and as we've so often seen, Mejri forced into the help to stop Bogdanovic. Bilan doing what he's supposed to do, follow hard because there's no one to box you out. And that's how he gets the offensive rebound.
You talk about his ability to score quickly. He's got 7 points in 2 minutes. 2 of 2 from the field, 3 of 3 from the line now. Croatia by 9. Marnawi, 2.5 minutes into the second quarter. Marnawi fouled by Bogdanovic. And that's his second. Joins Luka Babic on 2 fouls for Croatia. Mejri. Marnawi. Left hand attacking Bilan, who wasn't budging an inch. Having an impact at both ends of the floor.
Got to reward him, he's run the floor.
Giordano. Bilan looking to get touch tight to Adami. Gets the ball, spins baseline. Can he balance the baseline? He could, but he threw it away. Passing lane intercepted. Marnawi then fouled in transition.
Smart foul from Giordano, really. Tunisia had a chance to run. We know they've been struggling in the half court, so you foul them, put them on the sideline, make it difficult. Milan with the turnover, he had Bogdanovic open in the corner as well. I think he'll be frustrated.
And the first blemish really on his performance in this quarter.
Yeah.
Mejri is going to take one from way outside. Sleeman saves it, back to a teammate as well. Marnawi grabs it, they'll slow it down with 10 to work with.
Nice call from the official, he was clearly out of bounds. Had his foot on the line when he took off.
Tough shot for Marnawi. This time it breaks for Croatia. No harm done by that missed call. And certainly plenty of harm being done by Bogdanovic.
And this is what we said, though. The miss leads to what? Longer rebounds, transition play. Now, Croatia back, they're set. They're going to play you really hard in this half court again.
Sleeman on to Ganuni. Mejri up against Bilan, the two bigs. Nice little hesitation, step through and score from Abada.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to see. Abada being an offensive threat. They need him.
He led Tunisia in qualifying for the Afro-Basket, 10.5 points, 3.8 rebounds, 3.5 assists, 2.2 steals, so many different categories. Ukic. Bilan next to him, bypassed onto Marcinkovic. Marcinkovic finds Bilan, blocked off by Marnawi, and Mejri kicks it back out to the perimeter. Sidestep three-point shot, Giordano misses, rebound Sleeman.
It's got to be an extra pass from Giordano. You've got Bogdanovic right next to you. It's good you've got some confidence in your own three-point shot. But
Mejri gets inside for the two-handed hammer. Salah Mejri with his first two-point conversion of this tournament. And it's come on his 7th attempt across the first two games.
Znači, povučite se, vidite loptu tamo, na stranu pomoć. Nikad igra s ovim 1 na 1, uguraj. Nemoj iz koraka tražiti rješenje. Vrati natrag. Idemo Mario. Ide za Pavla. I idemo Žiža za Mira. Gledajmo, nemojmo gubiti loptu iz vida. Idemo sljedeći napad.
You talked about the ability for Croatia to get out in transition off those Tunisia misses. They've done it off turnovers as well. 6 turnovers each, but Croatia 9 points off those 6 turnovers. Tunisia just 5.
I mean, they're easy points. That's why I categorise them as. So you look at points in transition in the open floor, out of bounds as well. If you can execute those, it's points you can just get that scoreboard ticking over. And in some ways, you don't actually recognise then if you are struggling in that 5-on-5 half-court game. With Tunisia, we can see it. Everybody can feel how difficult it is for them to score because they haven't got easy points. Well, the one there for Mejri down the middle, what else have they got apart from that? They've had to work so hard for everything.
Altogether, on the fast break, 14 Croatia, 0 Tunisia. Midway point of the second quarter, Croatia by 9. Rocco Ukic, the captain, in his hometown, one of several from here in Split. Bogdanovic looking to dance with the defense on the perimeter. Takes the three over the top of Mejri, misses it. Marnawi all the way through, but just too rushed and panicked at the end of it.
Just a stupid foul for Mejri. It's his third, right? So 3 fouls from this forced. It's because, and this again, it's a frustration one, because Mejri is wide open. He doesn't get the pass. He's still frustrated about it, and then he commits a silly foul. You know, he's a veteran now. He has to make better plays than that. His team need him on the floor.
And he's been flustered since the first, hasn't he, Salah Mejri? He's the one player they really want to keep on the court. Not just the 3rd foul on him, but also Tunisia at the limit. Only around about the midway point of the quarter, so Croatia at the line, where they get up by 10. Marnawi, another turnover, another fast break for Croatia. Mejri challenging back, and collides with the cameraman behind the basket, but Ante Žižić is not watching those pictures. He's doing his own thing.
Back-to-back turnovers is just too easy. Žižić following it all up, everything working for Croatia. They're looking comfortable. And anytime, even if they are struggling a little in the half court, even if they haven't yet found that rhythm, this is a perfect game for them, because they can work through those mistakes just through, you know, but the effort plays are getting them a comfortable lead here that they can then think of it more of a practice than actually worrying about the scoreboard.
Defensively, hey, Salah has got 3 fouls, so we need to protect him a little bit. Let's go boxing 1 against 44, okay? So you 2 are up top, okay? You guarding Bojan man-to-man, you guys are in the back, okay? All right? When we walk out, make sure you know who you're guarding if we quickly have to switch back to man-to-man. Okay, hey, shake the turnovers off.
So Mejri's going to remain out there on the 3 fouls. They can't afford him to pick up the 4th before half-time, but they also can't afford really to have him on the bench. They're down by 12. And no, they can't allow this Croatian lead to grow much more.
That's exactly it. You've got to take the gamble. You sit Mejri now, could become a 20, 30-point game quite easily. So what are you saving him for? Yeah, Coach Bauman's going back to the box on 1, we could hear in the timeout. So it worked for a bit in that first quarter. Just changed the rhythm of the game somewhat for Croatia. Let's see if it can have the same effect.
8 points in 10 minutes for Žižić, as well as 5 rebounds and a blocked shot. Just over centre court in time to avoid the backcourt violation, Omar Abada. Marnawi turns to attack Bogdanovic, and he gets the score going onto the left hand.
He's a really good finisher with his left hand, Marnawi. We saw him a couple of times in that first game, just switch to his left on his way to the basket.
Žižić can't score that time. Mejri has that height and presence on the interior to poke it away.
Žižić is not going to miss many opportunities like that.
Marnawi fouled on the entry pass. Croatia disappointed with the call.
It's because it's the 3rd on Babic. That's why he's not happy.
Only the 3rd team foul on Croatia in the quarter. But the 3rd personal on Luka Babic, the first Croatian player to pick up 3. Mejri rolling inside, he goes to the corner instead. And then he gets it mid-range, but a foot on the sideline. On the baseline, rather.
Good defense from Hazonia. Moved the feet. Knew that Seaman was going to run out of space. Smart.
Three and a half to play in the first half. Croatia by 11. Ukic to Hazonia. Bogdanovic double team, far side, found a pass out to it, cross court. They move it around the perimeter. Bogdanovic gets it back in the corner. Hazonia open for the 3 off the perimeter. Ball movement, and he hits it.
That's perfect. Croatian basketball. Everybody touched it. You know, Bogdanovic and Hazonia are playing hot potato, going back and forth between the 2. Good unselfish play and an easy shot in the end for Hazonia, wasn't it? Wide open.
They're only 1 of 10 on the outside before that. Sleeman answers back, though, to close the gap back to 11.
Sleeman, even at 40, is a man who can do it.
Hezonja skipping through the paint. Wide open three again, this time for Rocco. Rattles out. Offensive rebound. Third time lucky. Ante Žižić cleaning up.
This is where the fouls affects Mejri, because it's a mental thing as much as anything. He can't be as dominant on that inside position. He can't put his weight around on rebounds.
Mejri on the offensive end, up against Žižić. Puts the moves on as well. Misses the shot, though, going right then left. Hezonja. Croatia looking to blow it open before half-time. Up by 13. Hezonja gets it back from Ukic. Little jab step, hesitation. Three-point shot over the top of Mejri, misses. Marnawi to Mejri. Hezonja all over him. Those two going at it again. Nice pass from the big man far side. Sleeman's hit a couple already. He's going to take another three, static, over the top of Bogdanovic.
I said Sleeman is a man who can still fill it up when he gets going. 40 years of age now, but played in the Basketball Africa League this past couple of months. Form on his stair, lost in the final. He only had 2 points in the final, but he did have one of the group games. 23 points against the Rivers Hoopers, so he knows where the basket is. Perhaps can't do it game in, game out now, but you know, he's a guy who's done it before for Croatia. He was part of that 2012 campaign when they did last play in the Olympics.
Izlazimo s timeouta, nijedno nismo odigrali šta smo nacrtali ovdje. Gledaj šta radimo, svi.
Jedinica slobodno, digni se ovdje, Bojane. Ovdje petica dođe.
Well, he's the man that's keeping Tunisia in it right now. At 40 years of age, 3 of 4 from downtown. Radouani Sleeman. And Tunisia are hanging in there, only down by 10.
They've done it off the back of that three-point shooting. 5 made threes, only 4 made twos in the whole of this game so far. All of them in this second quarter, but that just shows you how good the interior defense of Croatia, Žižić especially, has been.
Three-point shooting for both teams, because Croatia only 15%. On the outside, 2 of 13. And that surely is not going to continue. Ukic to Žižić. Bogdanovic trying to get free. Takes it mid-range, misses again. Žižić again with the offensive rebound and another score.
I said he's not going to miss many of those on the inside. We keep thinking Croatia are going to start to shoot better. Just 9 of 32 yesterday, only 28%. They haven't shot well at all.
They force a turnover on the far side. They're working hard to put this one to bed, to make sure they secure their place in the semi-final. And there's no shock in the air in Split tonight. Bogdanovic. Kick by Mejri.
Lovely little cut along the baseline from Marcinkovic. He was wide open. It was a good left foot of Salah Mejri to keep it out, because it was going to be an easy 2 points again for Croatia.
Marcinkovic to inbound then. Plenty of time. Žižić. Bogdanovic trying to get free. He's only 2 of 6 from the field so far, guarded by Mejri. Žižić, 12.7 rebounds for him in the first half, draws the double team. Marcinkovic tries to shift it on one further, and Mario Hezonja is there to take his tally to 15 first half points.
You can almost feel Croatia finding that rhythm we've been talking about. Possession by possession, just getting a bit more comfortable with each other.
Mejri. Perhaps thinking about the three, passes on the responsibility to Al Mabrouk. He's going to take it a couple of feet back. And Žižić grabs yet another rebound.
Another possession. The ball didn't even go inside the three-point line through the whole of that possession there.
Nominal differential between shot clock and game clock at the end of the first half, so Croatia should hold it for the final shot. Bogdanovic, they clear out so he can go one-on-one with Mejri and kick to the corner. Roko Ukic step to the side, three-point shot misses. But Croatia will take a 14-point lead into the halftime break. They've held Tunisia to just 28 in the first 20 minutes. They put up 42 themselves, and they're closing in on a place in Saturday's semi-finals.
Well, much improved from Croatia. Started to find that offensive rhythm. Still the three-point shot hasn't quite been found. Look, just 2 of 14 after the struggles the other night against Brazil as well. So that's the one other thing I think they'll be trying to get from today's game, but a lot better for them offensively here in that first half.
Leading the way in terms of rebounds, only 6 turnovers, and many of those came earlier on as well. And Zonja leads the way with 15 first half points. Žižić not too far off the double-double at halftime. 12 points, 8 rebounds. Bilan with 7 points in just 5 minutes on court. And those 3 threes from Sliman leading the way for Tunisia with his 9 points. Marnawi with 8. The winner of this, of course, will face Germany in the semi-final on Saturday. The other semi will be Mexico and Brazil after the rest day tomorrow. And the winners of those semi-finals go to the final on Sunday for a place at Tokyo 2020. Bojan Bogdanovic hoping to be the hero on home court in Split. He's got a good start to this one, scored the first 4 points for Croatia. He's only added 2 since then. But Mario Hezonja has certainly found his flow. 15 points on 6 of 12 shooting. 3 steals on the defensive end as well.
And that's what Croatia has, though, the opportunity to flip-flop between Hezonja and Bogdanovic as the primary scorer. You know, Bogdanovic, even though he does put up big numbers most of the time, is an unselfish player. So he'll just be looking to take, you know, the right shots, the right opportunities, more than worrying about how many points he has. As I said, he started with 4 early. He's got 6 at the half. So he's going to be comfortable, and he'll, as we've talked about, just want to find, you know, the cooperation between the fives on the floor and to start to get them working together a little bit more kind of cleanly than the way they have in the first 30 minutes that we've seen.
And that's the thing about Bogdanovic, isn't it? He doesn't have to be the hero. He just wants to win. He's quite happy if Mario Hezonja steals the spotlight, as long as Croatia find their rhythm and get the job done here in Split. We've been hearing the whole time we've been here how much of a humble and generous person he is, Bojan Bogdanovic. And that translates to the way he plays the game as well. Mejri with a big dunk on the inside for Tunisia as they tried to close a gap, but he's in foul trouble, picking up 3 in that first half. And Croatia lead by 14 at the break. Ante Žižić, with his 12 points and 8 rebounds, has been crucial, avoiding foul trouble himself after that was his downfall against Brazil. You see there Bogdanovic passing on responsibility to Hezonja. One of just 2 threes that Croatia have hit, though, in the first half, something they'll look to improve when we return.
Again, they're looking for Marjanovic. There's the double team. Bounce pass, Davidovic. Well, you get the double team, somebody's open. Well, it's almost like they anticipated the help coming, and then perfect cut to the basket. Marjanovic, nice drop-off pass.
To the lane, put the floater up for the throw down and a whistle. And these, let's just say, cute alley-oop. As Kovacic goes up the other, whoa, what a block! Correa just got back in transition. He just outworked everybody. And when you're looking for something to inspire, this is what could do it. Ripnik slices through the hard show. Oh, well, maybe they overpass. The three is good.
That is a thing of beauty. Second half action underway here in the Alexander Nicholas Hall, and right away, Dobris reminds us that also he does have some hops as he comes in and catches the alley-oop pass and flushes it.
We have walked this land for a long time. We know how far we've gone, and we're sure of how far we can go. Unity is not just a word here. It's not just a spirit in this sport. It's the way we all move. We are proud of our art, country, family, language, and culture. We are united by basketball.
Welcome to FIBA Women's Basketball World Cup 2022.
Welcome back to the Palladium Arena in Split as we take a look at the top scorers for the two teams here. Mario Hezonja's 15 points at half-time, helping Croatia into a 14-point advantage over Tunisia. Only hit 1 of his 7 shots in the first game, but he's knocked down 6 of 12 here, as well as 1 of 2 at the stripe, 3 steals as well. And Croatia came here with a little bit of pressure on them, having lost so heavily to Brazil, who've gone 2-0 in this group to finish top of the pile. Croatia knew they needed to win here. Strong favourites. They've still had to do the business, and they have done quite comfortably, it has to be said, despite the 9 points from Radouani Slimon of Tunisia. All of them coming from the outside, 3 of 4 shooting. And gave them briefly in that second quarter, around the midway point, a bit of optimism in terms of maybe they could close the gap and keep the prospect of an upset going until the second half. But we knew, Lloyd, it was going to be difficult for them even from the start of the game. It's an even steeper mountain to climb here on the Adriatic to start the second half down by 14.
Yeah, absolutely, Tim. Tough ask. It was always going to be that for Tunisia, but even more so. The question I think they'll be trying to answer is, where's that offense going to come from? Mejri, has turned into a bit of a three-point shooter now, which is fine, but he needs to find the balance and getting something around the basket if he can, whether it's pick and roll, sliding to the basket, whether it's the occasional post-up. But without him, I'm not sure where, the inside scores come from. Badr is good off the drive. Maybe it's got to be a Badr or Elmer Bullock trying to find that space to penetrate. But, it's easy to say. It's very hard to do against the Croatian team when you got Ante Žižić stepping out with his long wingspan, his huge frame, taking out that space that you can see.
Well, those two veterans were in heated discussion with each other earlier in the game, weren't they? Still going on at half-time. Mejri, the 35-year-old, and Slimon, the 40-year-old. But Mejri shot over 60% from the field across over 200 games in the NBA. Like you say, he's focused more on his three-point shot, particularly in this tournament so far, but they don't have that interior presence, Tunisia, at all, do they? They do have other guys who can maybe shoot it on the perimeter, like Slimon. almost want to see the offense revolve a bit more around Mejri.
Yeah, I think, you know, the key thing being, it doesn't have to be post-ups. But without Mejri posting up, well, how do you get those easy scores? How do you put pressure on the defense rather than make it all beyond the three-point line? For Tunisia, they had, you know, a great number of their offenses where the ball never went inside the three-point line at all. So therefore, the defense is never turning. They're able to push more and more pressure onto the perimeter, which makes it even harder to get clean looks. You know, the one guy who perhaps showed he has that ability to give them some two-point scoring, it is Marnawi. He's got 8 points, of course.
I think we need to continue to play good defense like in these first 20 minutes. I think we are much better than yesterday, so that's the main thing. We need to continue to do that, and next second half, of course, we're going to try to make some shots because we have a little bit like percentage for 3 points. It's a little bit bad, but I think it's going to be good because we are contained. You know, like we played much better than yesterday, and this is the way to the win in semi-finals.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye.
Any thoughts from the Croatian bench? Content, comfortable, and heating up as this tournament develops. After a disappointing start against Brazil, this will give them plenty of confidence going forward into the semi-finals.
Coach, your team trailing by 14. What is necessary to cut the lead in the second half?
One, I think we have to just shoot the ball better. I thought we got some good looks, and our ability to make shots is kind of limited, I have to say, and it's something we have to work on really hard, especially for this level where most shots are contested. I think we have to do a better job of taking care of the ball, and defensively, I think we just have to invest more and play with more energy and rebound the ball better.
All the best, friend. Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
The thoughts of Dirk Baumann on the Tunisian bench, such a well-travelled, highly experienced coach, 9-time German League champion, 4-time German League Coach of the Year, as well as the national team jobs for Germany, Poland, Iran, and now, of course, Tunisia. But basically, Lloyd, the assessment, they just need to improve everything.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. So if we get this right, shooting, rebounding, turnovers, I'm surprised he didn't throw some defense in there as well. So a tough ask for Tunisia, as he summed up beautifully, really. And I think that is the key. It's how they can find those easy points. And a couple of things he touched on before we went to the interviews. I was talking about Marnawi, you know, and he's a guy who can provide some of that. He does have that shot-making ability. The problem is for Marnawi, you know, he had those back-to-back turnovers when he came back in for his second spell. And there were such poor turnovers. It wasn't just that he gave possession to the other team. It was that he gave possession to the other team and they laid it up swiftly at the other end. The real back-breaking turnovers. Those ones, those open floor mistakes where you're giving the opportunity. So it's not about the two you don't score, it's also the 2 or the 3 in some cases, the opposition are getting going the other way.
We don't want the ball to stick. By that I mean dribble, pass. When you're at the top, Salah, when you don't have a shot, get right into a dribble handle.
22, idemo rame.
22, pošto smo nacrtali za prvu akciju i da mu trica.
To je nastavak ako ne...
Sa mnom u korneru, ja sam četiri.
Znači, ili rame. Ako hoćemo nekada produžimo da dirnu svi loptu, zovite rame. U redu.
Ide čik, Hrvatska.
Yeah, and just to add to what you were saying, Lloyd, Croatia are good enough as it is. You don't want to give them easy opportunities. You don't want to give them extra opportunities. At the moment, 17-0 on the fast break in Croatia's favour, 18-5 points from turnovers. and 12-1 in Croatia's favour on second chance points.
Yeah, I mean, the turnovers is huge for me, 17-0. Imagine you just split that either way. Took half of them away from Croatia, that would put them back in the 30s, and then you give half of them to Tunisia, that would put them in the mid-30s. So it's an even game if those fast break points weren't 17-0, but were 7 or 8 apiece.
We start the second half with Tunisia down by 14, have the ball. Let's see if they can improve in the second half. Not yet mission impossible, but it's certainly mission improbable for the two-time African champions. Bogdanovic being attacked straight away by Ahmed Adami, the 23-year-old who gets the score. In 2 of his 3 shots against Brazil. Roko Ukic working with Žižić. Ukic is going to take the shot in the paint himself, way wide of the basket. Abada. Threatens the 3, clings onto it, passes on to Marnawi, bounce pass. Mejri moving down the baseline under the basket, finishes on the reverse, and they've closed the gap from 14 to 10.
And they're the types of thing we're talking about from Mejri and from Marnawi as well, being aggressive. Mejri on the roll there, getting an easy score. Now he can mix in a 3. With that, that's no problem at all, but he's got to give those easy baskets.
Ukic across to Hezonja, 15 first half points for him. Žižić running interference on the perimeter, found inside, and he was pulled back as the pass came in. The foul is on Adami.
Yeah, it's on Adami and Mejri switched, but Adami, he's got to get underneath Žižić there. He can't play on his back because Žižić is too big, too strong. The moment he rolls to the basket, he's going to get the ball, and you've got no chance of stopping him if that happens.
As Ukic gets free off the inbound and scores, despite the late attempt to stop him from Mejri, who led the 2012 Olympics in block shots.
Watch Ukic look, just seal his man off there. Real veteran play against Abada. He got to the inside and just holds him off. Abada caught, can't do anything about it.
Croatia by 12. Abada does really well to get away from Giordano. Spins away at centre court. Mejri fizzes the bounce pass into Sleeman, who finishes rising to the rim. And what a pass from Mejri. Ukic to Hezonja. Mejri all over Žižić on defense as well. Much better from Tunisia here in the third. And another score. They've made it a single-digit game as Marnawi puts it in.
Fast break points for Tunisia, perhaps. Could be the first ones. That's how they're starting to get back. And again, it's Marnawi that does it for them.
Ukic to the far side. Žižić up against Mejri. Looking back out to Hezonja. Hezonja attacks Mejri. He gets the bounce and the hop and the roll and the drop.
What a beautiful touch for Mario Hezonja. That's plays he can make. Not many other players in the world can.
17 points in 19 minutes for him. 10-point game. Pass disrupted into Mejri. Low down to the deck to grab it and to score. It's a long way down for him, but he got there.
Yeah, excellent start to this second half for Salah Mejri.
Giordano goes past Sleeman, batted away by Mejri. He's doing it at both ends. Abada checks the rearview mirror. Hezonja arriving, swats it away from him. Sleeman there, though, to pick up the pieces. Tunisia working so hard on defense, running the floor. We talked about the fast break points. Didn't have a single one in the first half. That's 4 here in the opening 3 minutes of the third quarter.
All off turnovers as well from Croatia, I believe. They just haven't looked after the ball at all. They've only got 8 in the game, but I mean, I'm trying to remember back. At least 2 of the 3 are from turnovers, so they haven't done a good job looking after the ball.
Držimo poziciju obrane kod ovog pika, Roko, ti si prvi. Nemoj da ovo od pozadi dolazi tu. Imamo naša pravila koji se moramo pridržavati. Tvoj prima loptu kad god sjeti i hodaš za njim. Daj napravi overplay da ne dođe u slopom gdje hoće. Jebe mu mater. Probudimo se, igrajmo ko ljudi 40 minuta.
Ne opuštaj se, ej, nemoj relaksirati.
Well, Tunisia have surprised us. They have surprised Croatia, perhaps. the way they performed over the first 3 minutes of this quarter. Mejri turning into the point guard with the pinpoint pass for Sliman, who adds to his impressive tally, the 40-year-old into double figures. And this is a 12-4, 3 minutes in Tunisia's favour. They've closed a 14-point gap down to just 6 points. They've planted that seed of doubt in Croatian minds.
Croatia don't want a tight one here. You're in Split, you're at home for the Olympic qualifier, you're the overwhelming favourites for this game. You've got a lot of people believing you're the team that's going to qualify in this tournament. You do not want that pressure environment.
Bogdanovic to ease the pressure with a big shot. He wanted the and one. Has to settle for the 3, Croatia by 9. Marnawi. Into Mejri. Looking to take on Žižić, body to body, trying to wriggle his way into an appropriate angle. He did more than that. He almost broke the rack.
Oh, Salah Mejri, a different man in the second half. Rolling back the years, we've seen the three-point threat from him, but now back to that old school, you know, pick and dive, post up.
He's 4 of 6 on the inside now. Didn't have a 2-point shot conversion for a long time in this tournament. Didn't have a single one in the first game. Ukic for 3 at the buzzer. Tunisia have to grab the rebound, and they do. 8 points, 5 boards now for Mejri. 3 assists as well. Madani. Herbada. To Mejri. Thought about the 3, puts the ball on the floor, attacks, draws the foul, and he'll go to the line.
Salah Mejri's been so good here. No 3-point shots, but as I said, you know, we've seen him off the pick and roll. We've seen him in post-ups, and now what is it? Look, puts it on the floor, draws the contact. Excellent work from him. And something probably this most important, he hasn't picked up his 4th foul.
Yeah, keeping him on the floor, absolutely critical for Tunisia right now.
He's forced Žižić to the bench. Coach Mersic unhappy with Žižić, so he's brought in Bilan instead.
This Croatian crowd hoping that that will knock him out of his rhythm. An air ball free throw from Mejri. He can smile about it. Can he recover to hit the second? Yes, he can. And he looks around at the fans.
There's something to say as well. That's probably going to get him going as much as anybody. Loves to be the villain, Salah Mejri. Always has done.
6-point game, 5.5 to play in the third. Ukic. Looking for Bilan, goes Hazonia instead, far side. He bypasses Bilan. Giordano for 3, rims out. Sliman. They're still struggling on the outside, Croatia. Just 3 of 17 now.
Well, that's the reason Giordano's on the floor. He's got to knock those shots down, or there's not really a lot of, you know, other reasons to have him out there. Lovely pass from Herbada. Didn't quite get there, but you could see that great camera work angle.
And Bilan did just enough to poke it away, as Hazonia did there. Sideline inbound for Tunisia, only down by 6. In from Herbada to Marnawi. Edging his way towards the paint. Looking to go all the way. Herbada almost grabbed it. Marnawi did. 2 of them in there.
Well, Marnawi is a professional point scorer. That is what he does. Somehow just always finds a way to get points on the board.
It's a 4-point game across the midway point of the third quarter.
Mejri doesn't want to foul here. Oh, we got away with one. Yeah. It was late, but it's absolutely the right call. There's 4 on him.
You almost want to give up the points instead.
Yeah, that's the trouble. You know, you're asking so much of Salah Mejri to switch a ball screen against Hazonia. You know they're going to isolate him. Watch just afterwards, gets him on the wrist right there. He's got to go out for a bit of time here.
So he has starred in this Tunisian comeback in the third quarter, but he's now walking the disciplinary plank. $5,000 you're out of course here in European basketball. Mejri sits on 4.
Oh, got away with one. That's why his presence is so important. First thing since he goes out is they give up the offensive rebound off a free throw.
Slimane to Abada. Can Tunisia continue to bring it with Mejri on the bench? He's the man to pick up the slack. Gayaza able to do it, and Mejri just a spectator for now. Hezonja got inside to add to his tally to hit 20. Croatia by 5. Just before that, 3 is as close as Tunisia had been for a long, long time. Oh, behind the back pass, Marnaoui was disrupted in traffic. Shot clock still ticking. Ball at centre court. 4 to shoot. Abada pulls the trigger on a 3, gets nothing. Bogdanovic. He shoots the 3. Still not finding his best form yet, Bogdanovic. Abada. Gayaza running interference. Abada looking to shoot, got fouled on it. He'll go to the line to try and make it a one-possession game again.
He's another of these Tunisian players that's been a lot more aggressive in the second half, Abada. You know, he's got to the basket. He gave a couple of passes to Gayaza when he finished, when he didn't. And then they see him on the pull-up. That's what they need. They need him to be that leader at the point guard position. You know, creating offense, sometimes for himself when he needs to, sometimes for others.
And he was that at the World Cup in China in 2019. 10.6 points, 4.4 assists, 2.6 steals a game.
Yeah, I mean, this is a guy for his club team. He was an All-Star 5 member at the FIBA Africa Champions Cup in 2017. He's a, you know, team leader in assists, 11 points and 5 assists a game in the Basketball Africa League as well this past couple of months.
Bogdanovic to Hezonja. Bilan got it inside and tried to get the ball up, but hit the underside of the rim. Now Abada then fouled far side. It's the 3rd on Croatia here in the 3rd.
And again, we see Bilan misses, makes a mistake, out he comes.
Croatia have only got 10 points in this quarter after hitting 22 in the second and 20 in the first. So Tunisia still not looking too bad, even with Mejri sitting.
Yeah, every second that ticks off this clock now, going into the 4th quarter, is helping Tunisia.
Slimane. Hezonja sticking to him like glue. Slimane's hit 3 on the outside already. Looking to feed it in, disrupted. Reel back in, plenty of time here. Slimane needs only a second to put himself on the highlight reel. Tunisia have closed the gap to 2 with 2.5 to play in the 3rd, from 14 down at the half. Hezonja wants to go right back at Slimane. And beat 2 of them over the top of Gayaza as well.
And so often that it doesn't work well when you do that. Just clear out and let somebody go one-on-one in European basketball. But Hezonja, you know, he's a difference maker in that respect.
22 points now for him. Abada, the burst to the baseline, looking to pass it back out. Hezonja there to disrupt the pass on defense as well. Bogdanovic, 3-point shot, still not happening for Bojan Bogdanovic, a man who shot 46% on the outside in the NBA playoffs.
And Croatia, what an opportunity that was. You know, points in transition. They got a wide open look for Bogdanovic. He had 3 guys on the offensive glass. And it's actually a foul against Žižić, just because he had hands in the back of his man. He needs a bit more discipline there.
A foul that takes Croatia to the limit for the quarter, so sends Mukhtar Gayaza to the line. We talked about this having to be one of the all-time great shocks in this tournament if Tunisia were to beat Croatia and knock them out. And they're only down by 3 as we enter the final 12 minutes. Rogic. Zonja comes near side, frustrated he doesn't get the ball. Rogic working with Žižić. Gets through a gap, wants to do it all himself, and he does. Roko Rogic.
Oh, that summed Croatia up like nothing worked for them. They were trying to get the ball to Zonja. They were disorganized. They were slow. Nothing going right, but Rogic just, you know, somehow makes the play.
Well, Mabruk shoots the 3 and he banks it in, and it may well still be Tunisia's night in Split. 2-point game, approaching the final minute of the third. Here's Zonja. He wants to go one-on-one as well with Gayaza. Hangs, misses. A rare miss for him tonight. Here's Abada. Can Tunisia finally tie, maybe even take the lead? Abada for 3 from 14 down at the half. Tunisia lead the host Croatia. A huge upset potentially on the cards.
Wow. I'm not sure what to say. Croatia, they've just lost their way offensively. All sort of, that's an offensive foul as well, yeah.
On Bogdanovic.
Everything they did early on, team-wise, worked. Now it's just one-on-one. It's Zonja on isolations. It's Bogdanovic coming off a ball screen with no movement. Look, he's just trying to bully his way to the basket. Nothing working, nothing, you know, going well for Croatia.
Tunisia had 28 points at the half. They've scored 29 in this quarter.
Again, though, it's because of the lack of offense of Croatia. They didn't have any of those, you know, any transition points, anything like that we talked about a lot. But now, you know, fast break points, they still only got 2 apparently on the stats, but 9 points from turnovers. I'm not sure I believe the other number. Wow. And the last possession of this quarter.
10 to shoot at the end of one of the great quarters in Tunisian basketball. Gayaza. 3-point shot near side. And they can't put the exclamation mark with the 20-year-old Mortada Bentaha on that tremendous quarter in which they poured in 29 points and held Croatia to 14 to turn a 14-point halftime deficit into a 1-point lead heading into the final 10 minutes. They're 1 quarter away from a place in the semi-finals and one of the great shocks.
Wow, I mean, at the half, what we were talking about, how comfortable Croatia were, how they could use this second half to try and get, you know, some rhythm for the right lineups, and now it's just all falling apart for them. They've just allowed Tunisia for them to be the ones that are now full of confidence. They know that they believe they can win this game, and for Croatia, they've gone from potentially a second half where they could just look at lineups to now really in a dogfight against a Tunisia team with all sorts of motivation.
Well, we were both saying at halftime this game was dead. At 14 points, Croatia had given themselves the breathing room. We talked about it being a mountain to climb. We talked about it being not impossible, but we did not expect this.
Well, coming into the game, if you took the performances we've seen here in Split so far, you could see how Tunisia could beat Croatia. Tunisia took the game at Brazil, you know, something that Croatia just didn't do in those performances. You know, Tunisia were closer to Brazil than Croatia. but we expected a different Croatian performance, and that's what we saw in the first 20 minutes, right? It was, you know, a comfort level there. We saw Hezonja, we saw Bogdanovic, we saw that quality that they have. And for Tunisia, they didn't get anything at the basket, but from halftime, we have seen that aggression back for Tunisia. They are the ones that are dictating this. They're the ones saying to Croatia, go on then, you have to stop us. We're not going to stop.
10 minutes for Croatia to avoid an exit in the group stage here in Split. They have the quality, they have the time. They're only down by 1. They have the chance to take the lead here with the captain, Roko Ukic, looking to step up and provide it at the buzzer. But Tunisia are feeling it right now, full of energy, full of belief. Slimane, stop and pop. 3-point shot doesn't go for him. Long rebound, though, and a fresh 14. And they're doing this, of course, with Mejri still on the bench. Lovely no-look pass out to the 20-year-old who misses another one, Ben Taher, but it's another offensive rebound. Third time lucky, perhaps, for Tunisia. Abada towards the foul line, finds a gap again for the pass to the far side. And that's frustrating for Tunisia, having had 3 good looks. Down the floor, Žižić, knocked away beyond the baseline. Still Croatian ball to inbound.
All that was going through my head then was what Coach Baumann said at half-time. We've just got to make shots. That's the difference playing at this level, and that's an example. 3 great looks for Tunisia, but they've missed them all. So Marnaoui, their bucket getter, the guy who does know how to put it in the basket, comes back in to try and help them.
He's got 12 points, Marnaoui.
Where did Croatia go for points here? That's the question. It's, you know, Hezonja, I would like to see them get Hezonja the opportunity rather than an isolation. But really, I think Žižić has to be the man. Somehow play through him because he's got that matchup against Gajaza.
Ukic. Ante Žižić. He backs in, looks back out. Marcinkovic. They're looking for Žižić. They go to the far side instead. Marcinkovic open 3, but it's flat. Žižić offensive rebound. Trapped on the baseline, looking back out to Roko Ukic. Hezonja goes behind the back, runs into traffic. He's got an open player on the near side, though. It's another miss on the outside, and Croatia can't buy a bucket from long range. They'll get another go. Third time lucky perhaps for them. Tunisia couldn't do it. At the other end, Croatian fans trying to give their team a bit of encouragement here. And the hometown hero, Roko Ukic, misses. They'll go again. Hezonja smothered mid-air, but a foul called on Marnaoui. How many chances do these 2 teams need here in the 4th quarter?
I've never seen a Croatian team, you know, so reluctant to pass the ball. It's all one-on-one. It's whoever has the ball trying to score, and only when they're stopped from scoring do they look to pass. Just have a look, 8 assists and 9 turnovers for them in the game, and that tells a big story for me. You know, 14 assists for Tunisia.
Roko Ukic. Bojan Bogdanovic for 3. Got it to get the fans on their feet. And punching the split air. Croatia by 2. Now the whistles and the jeers rain down from this crowd at the Spaladium Arena as Tunisia try to not let it bother them, but they can't find a way through. And Žižić rips down the rebound.
If the crowd starts getting to this one, Tunisia might need to bring back Mejri. Well, here he comes. The only trouble with Mejri, if it's an emotional game, he'll foul out quick.
Ukic around the perimeter onto the corner. Bogdanovic misses. Marcinkovic, the offensive rebound. 5 quick-fire points. And Croatia find a spark.
Bogdanovic has just given them that focal point offensively.
Abada. Al Mabruk. He got it. Lovely shot from the number 7, the captain for Tunisia.
Get the ball moving here if you're Croatia. Get something. Players moving, ball moving, rather than making it stagnant.
Ukic trying to create a bit of room to shoot himself.
And this is the pressure, I think, for the expectations Croatia have. Everybody is trying to do the right things. Everybody, though, is trying to win the game in their own particular way, rather than rely on the team play, rely on each other. Mejri needs to last at least 4.5 of this 6.5 minutes for Tunisia to have any chance, I think.
He's back in the game on 4 fouls. Mabruk onto Abada, to Mejri. Abada again, trying to take on Bogdanovic, who's stuck to him. Croatia by 2. And there's a whistle before the shot. And Hezonja and Croatia are not happy with the call at all. It goes against them. Adami. Mejri rolling towards the rack. Here's Hezonja. Spins into the lane, wrap around, and to Žižić. And the fans are on their feet in split again.
Great play from Hezonja. Really smart. So often we've seen him kind of force on that occasion, but he did the right thing there. Played under control. Found Žižić.
Situation, and then a dribble handoff, him and Murat, okay? So look.
Well, Tunisia produced a remarkable third quarter, 29-14 in their favour, but Croatia have turned it back in their favour in this fourth quarter, a 7-2 start. They lead by 4 points. They've got the crowd back behind them as well. And perhaps they've got a little bit of their mojo back.
It's interesting. You look at the point spread for Croatia. Hezonja, the big game of 22. Žižić played well, 14 points. Bogdanovic, not at his best, but he's got 12. After that, just nobody. You know, Bilan, okay, he's got 7. Nobody else has scored more than 2. And there's a lot of zeros up there as well. That's what I said, like everything is about those 3 guys. And what Tunisia has started to do is flood the lane, really pack it in, force the other guys to beat them, and they're not doing it.
And just 10 assists for Croatia, 15 for Tunisia.
And it shows they haven't moved the ball at all.
Mabruk working with Mejri, rolls inside, receives it this time, and he'll answer back to that big dunk from Žižić before the timeout. 11 for Mejri. Tunisia halved the deficit to 2. Bogdanovic out to Ukic. Now Hezonja. Nice line, too long though. Offensive rebound, Marcinkovic turns it over, trying to find Žižić. And a chance for Tunisia to tie or take the lead at the midway point of the fourth quarter. Usama Marnawi hands it off to Mabruk. Tunisia sense an upset. Marnawi, deep 3-point shot, too long.
Croatia don't want to give him that much room. He can make shots, Marnawi.
And so can this man, Bogdanovic.
Yeah, this is the danger for Tunisia. Mejri with the 4, switching out.
offensive rebound again.
Well, credit to Marcinkovic. He hasn't scored, but he's come up with a lot of effort plays in this fourth quarter.
15 offensive rebounds to 7 in Croatia's favour. Bogdanovic looking to show his range again. This is back-to-back triples over the top of Mejri, who turns around to ask the question of those behind him. Can you not protect the backboard? Croatia by 4 off their 16th offensive rebound. Elmer Brook to Mejri, puts it on the floor, past Žižić, dishes off, baseline cut, and the layup good for Marnawi.
I mean, that is just exquisite from Salah Mejri. I thought he was going to shoot the 3, and you know, I kind of rolled my eyes a bit at such an important time, but puts it on the floor, such body control, great pass.
Looking like the Salah Mejri that played over 200 games for the Mavericks in the NBA, that won a EuroLeague title with Real Madrid in 2015. You said it, rolling back the years here in this second half, playing hard on defense as well.
They've got numbers here if they want it, Tunisia.
Marnawi not too fast down the floor. They'll try and do it in the half court, 3.5 to play, looking for the tie or the lead.
They look good in the half court right now, Tunisia.
Elmer Brook up against Žižić, crossing over, Mejri bumping bodies with Marcinkovic, has the height advantage, but he can't grab the high entry pass, although it's still Tunisia ball.
It's actually a poor pass from Elmer Brook because Mejri, he had him sealed off nicely. There was a lot of room for Elmer Brook. If he had just thrown it a little more into the right hand of Mejri over the top, that would have been a certain 2 points. Now we see Mejri defensive end, getting the steal, doing well not to foul.
Sleeman lost their handle on the ball and he beats it down in frustration. He was there to be grabbed. Tunisia have to keep their cool, continue to believe. Their attitude has been excellent in this second half. They have rattled the hosts.
I'd like to see Croatia here. Full screen with Ukic. Put Bogdanovic and Hezonja in the spots where the moment their players help, they can just throw them the ball. Žižić right down the middle rolling, so wherever the help comes from, Ukic can just find the open man. COVID delay in the game as Hezonja touched the ball that had been touched by a spectator, so he has to get the gel on his hands. We're now ready to go again.
24 points for Hezonja, leading the way of all scorers, but Croatia only up by 2. Final 3 minutes and change remaining. Ukic. Bogdanovic held to 12 points, wants to take on Sleeman. Mejri comes across to try and confront him. And the foul came first.
It's been underrated is, you know, here's a competition for you. Best 40-year-old defender here in Croatia because...
Alex.
Well, but Sleeman has done an underrated job defensively as well. So we've got Alex from Brazil, who's been incredible at 41. Sleeman at 40. I mean, he's gone through this game guarding Hezonja and Bogdanovic. It's a pretty tough ask for anybody.
Bogdanovic 3 of 3 at the line. 4 of 13 from the field, though. Only 2 of 9 from three-point range. Croatia as a team, we said it would have to improve. They're still only shooting 15% from 3, 4 of 26. Tunisia down by 4. Sleeman to Abada. Guarded by Bogdanovic. Mejri running interference. Abada around him. Mejri back into the lane, receives the pass and detonates the dunk.
Žižić just got to make Abada finish there. He committed too much to the ball. Can't leave Mejri. Leave Abada, who hasn't really looked to score tonight.
Bogdanovic receives the handoff from Žižić. Up against Mejri again. We've seen that matchup on the perimeter several times, especially down the stretch here. And Mejri forces a third consecutive miss from Bogdanovic.
6 minutes, I said he's got to get to 2 minutes. Mejri's done exactly that. They're very much in this game here, Tunisia.
Playing on 4 fouls for a long time, Salah Mejri. Tunisia down by 2. Here he is on the perimeter, finding Marnaoui. Shot clock's down to 2. Marnaoui's got to shoot. He's not aware. Mejri is, but he can't catch the ball and swivel his body into an appropriate position in time. Hezonja rubbing salt in Tunisian wounds.
Just the experience at both ends of the floor. Marnaoui didn't know the shot clock. And then what did they do? If we get a replay of this, watch how everybody just leaves Slimane just on an island guarding Hezonja. There's no help behind him whatsoever. I mean, that's an impossible ask to try and slow Hezonja down. He sees all the space and attacks, knowing it's either going to be 2 shots or he's going to get an easy chance at the ring.
Listen. Look at the board. Know where your starting spot is. Only this, okay? So we're going to set 2 screens for Omar on the ball. Omar.
Well, there you see it. The replay you're talking about. Hezonja bursting past the 40-year-old in transition and taking his tally to 26 points. But that's a real tough one to take, isn't it? For Tunisia, not aware of the shot clock, and then a violation in the blink of an eye. Having hoped for the tie, they're now down by 4.
Yeah, still plenty of time. There's no worry there. It's Tunisian possession, so a basket makes it a 1-possession game. The challenge for Tunisia is they've got this blend between the experience and the youth, but they've got a lot of guys. You know, this is a big step up for them. You look on the other side, you got Mario Hezonja, who's, you know, a EuroLeague player, an NBA player, has played youth national teams, won world championships and junior championships for Croatia. You've got Bogdanovic, you've got Žižić, you've got Roko Ukic, all of these guys with years of experience on this Croatian team.
Omar Abada with Tunisia down by 4, approaching the final minute and a half. Mejri, guarded by Bogdanovic, off to Al Mabrouk. Mejri trying to get in to the paint, and he does. The catch on the baseline, back out the cut from Obada. Pass off the mark to Marnaoui. He's got to get his shot away this time. It's blocked by Ante Žižić, who then whistles the rebound away. Croatia looking to finish this one once and for all with Hezonja. Up against Slimane. Steps back behind the 3-point line. Hezonja misses. Mejri to try and grab it. His teammate helps him out. 4-point game, final minute. At the very least, Tunisia have set up a nervy finish in Split tonight. Al Mabrouk attacking, halving the arrears, a 2.1 possession game, 43.6 to play. And a whistle as Bogdanovic carries the ball towards centre court.
There's an issue with the shot clock, I think. Wow, 1-possession game. Just didn't believe we could get to this after that first half performance of these 2 teams.
Hey, the only people that believed were those in Tunisian red. A 29-point third quarter, turning a 14-point halftime deficit into a 1-point lead. They've been there or thereabouts throughout the entirety of this 4th quarter. And they are hot on the heels of Croatia with 38 seconds to play. We've had so many developing storylines throughout this group stage, and we're getting the blockbuster finish.
I tell you what, Tunisia have got to be careful of their offensive rebounds. They really struggle to, you know, they can force a miss here, especially Marcinkovic as well, who's really good at getting to the glass. We've got 2 fouls to give, so they'll be aggressive as well, Tunisia.
Bogdanovic with the ball in his hands, slices into the lane, draws the attention of the defense like moths to a flame, kicks to the corner for Marcinkovic to do the rest. We talked about Bogdanovic not needing to be the hero himself. There's a foul on the three-point shot. So swiftly down the other end of the floor, though, Murad Almabrook will go to the line to try and make it a two-point game again.
I was thinking they weren't going fast enough. Almabrook, he kind of, wandered down the floor with no urgency, but gets himself to the line. Why challenge it that way from Ukic? Could have just left them a little bit more.
One captain fouling another. And he's got to do it under pressure here. Almabrook, the 34-year-old.
Tunisia will try and trap if he makes all three of these, because they don't have the full shot clock. The other thing they've got to be careful of is going all out for the trap and leaving a really easy pass somewhere for someone just to get a cheap score. So trap, but don't give up a layup and then get a foul.
Comfortably makes all three, as if there was no pressure whatsoever. It's a two-point game, 18 seconds to play, and we'll go to the benches for a timeout.
Croatia caught a timeout. I assume they're going to take it from the backcourt, because if they move it into the front court, then they'll have to shoot and give the opportunity for Tunisia not to even have to foul. So they'll organise themselves against that pressure. So that's the key for me, both ends. Don't trap and give up a layup. If you have to take the foul, do it at least once to see if you can get Croatia to miss a free throw.
And what a second half it's been. Some spectacle in Split to finish the group stage. Some performance from Salah Mejri. 13 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, a couple of steals. The Tunisian superstar hoping to produce in the closing seconds as well. He could yet further enhance his legend in the North African country. And this would be a legendary upset if Tunisia could do it. But Croatia have the slight advantage at the moment. The two-point lead and the ball. Hezonja to Bogdanovic. The foul comes straight away from Abada. And it's Bogdanovic at the line for two to try and make it a two-possession game.
No, they've still got 2 more fouls to give. So that's why they committed it so quickly. They'll probably do 1 more straight away, then look to trap. Yeah, they're bringing Mejri off because they don't want him to be the guy who's going to foul. Gayaza back so that he doesn't allow anything over the top.
Yeah, my mistake. I'm almost assuming they should be at the limit.
They've got to go quick here, though.
They're so close right now. They're not fouling Bogdanovic now. They don't want to commit the foul on him. They were trying to force the turnover instead.
Yeah, I mean, Bogdanovic is a superb free throw shooter. It may be why they're not fouling him. We're talking about a guy who's 86%.
But they still have the one to give.
That's true, yeah, because he's 86% from the line over the course of his NBA career. Bogdanovic, now's the time for Croatia, get it into his hands.
Yeah, now they definitely don't want to foul him. That is 4 fouls.
It's been like 10 seconds off the clock for Tunisia.
Hezonja to him, about 8.7 seconds to play.
Going to run time here as well.
Hezonja is the player that's fouled. They don't want to foul him either. 6.6 to play. Hezonja on a 26-point night, but he is only 2 of 4 from the line.
Yeah, but he's 81% over the course of 5 NBA seasons. So history tells us Mario Hezonja is a good free throw shooter.
So he's due a couple.
Yeah.
Comfortable.
That one's a freebie. This is the important one to make it a 2-possession game.
And if he misses, Tunisia have a chance for the tie for overtime. He does miss. The next thing, they had to grab the rebound. And it's been the Achilles heel for Tunisia all night long as Croatia grab their 18th offensive rebound of the game.
Called it a minute ago, right? Marcinkovic on the glass. He's been incredible. You know, sometimes you look at the numbers for Marcinkovic and you wonder how 20 minutes, 5 points is out there, but he's come up with a huge three, and that offensive rebound are the two biggest plays of the night for Croatia.
Now the captain can put it beyond Tunisia. And he does with the first. A two-possession game, only 2 seconds to play. Well, in the historical city of Split, Croatia very nearly crumbled. But they avoid what would have been a shock for the ages as Tunisia battled back from 14 down at the half. But Croatia survive to win it by 5, and they take their place in the semi-finals here on home court on Saturday.
Well, they had to work for it, didn't they? So Marcinkovic coming up with arguably the two biggest plays of the evening. The big three late on, the offensive rebound. He stepped up when needed. All credit to Tunisia, though. You know, what a second half performance for them. 29 points in that third quarter. They really gave it their best shot.
They made it a wonderful watch when it looked dead and buried at half-time. Salah Mejri, key to that. 13 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, a couple of steals. Having to avoid foul trouble in and out of the game. Mario Hezonja, though, ultimately 27 points for Croatia, leading all scorers. But look what it means for Tunisia, who bow out of this tournament. But in terms of belief in themselves, to put together that kind of a performance, ahead, of course, of Afrobasket later in the summer.
That's exactly it. What a preparation it is for Tunisia to head to Kigali Arena in Rwanda for Afrobasket. They'll go to that full of confidence after battling a couple of heavyweights here in Split, in Croatia and Brazil. And for Croatia, I mean, again, three-point shooting has just been awful for them through these first 2 games, but success so far. They've got through the group. Now they've just got to regroup. They've got a day off, and then they can focus on trying to beat a German team.
That's going to be a really intriguing semi-final, as will Brazil against Mexico. And that's your lineup for Saturday. And the winners of those 2 ties will face each other on Sunday for a place at Tokyo 2020, as we see the top scorers for both teams. There were 4 in double figures in the end for Tunisia, only 3 for Croatia, but the 27 points from Mario Hezonja, who scored consistently throughout, 14 each for Žižić and Bogdanovic. So the 3 biggest stars on the roster stepping up with the 3 biggest points hauls for Croatia to see them through, but key plays down the stretch from some of the role players as well.
I think the easy look statistically for Croatia is assists. You know, a Croatian team with more turnovers than assists just doesn't make sense, and that's the problem for Croatia right now. That stagnant offense, lots of guys standing around, the ball isn't moving, a lot of one-on-one, and you're not going to beat great teams like that, no matter how good your individual players are. 27 baskets for Croatia, just 11 of them assisted. They had 12 turnovers. Tunisia had 7 more assists in the game. He'll be proud of their performance, Coach Baumann. No doubt about it. Bogdanovic was suffocated for the vast majority. Finished just 4 of 14 from the field, including 2 of 10 from downtown for his 14 points. So they got there in the end, Croatia. As for Tunisia, those 4 scorers in double figures. 15 for Sliman, the 40-year-old, to lead the way. 14 for Marnawi, and 13 each for Mejri. And for the captain, Al Mabrouk. And what we've had here, now that we've concluded the group stage in Split, Lloyd, and we get the rest day before the semi-finals on Saturday, is entertaining games every single day. Absolutely right, Tim. I mean, you know, some of the team players been absolutely first class. I think to how well Brazil have played, But at the end of the day, the Brazilian performances have been of the highest level, but they're still only in the semi-final, the same as Croatia, the same as Germany, who haven't played at their best yet, but they're both through to the semi-final. We get this day off to wipe everything away, and then it's a fresh slate, isn't it? You know, what's happened before doesn't matter. 2 games to win to make it to the Olympic Games.
And so often it's not how you start, it's how you finish in tournament basketball. Croatia doing what they need to do and getting out of the group. And they face Germany in the semi-final on Saturday. The German team in a similar situation, maybe haven't quite been at their best, but we want to go to the next level against the hosts. It's been a pleasure having your company for the group stage here at this Palladium Arena. We'll see you on Saturday for the semi-finals here at this Olympic qualifying tournament in Split. It's goodbye from us until then.